It is an honor to stand on this stage with you and the other distinguished speakers here today to shine a spotlight on the deadly threat faced by thousands of Christians in Nigeria. I would like to thank
Nicki Minaj just pulled up to the United Nations, and the internet exploded right away. But before getting into that UN moment, we need to break down everything that pushed her to this point, because she's been on a full-blown Trump supporting wave lately, and people are looking at her sideways for it. This whole thing kicked off in early November when the White House TikTok page posted a video of Trump and Melania with Nicki's track Bees in the Trap playing in the background. Nicki lost it in excitement and reposted the clip, talking big about the First Lady and President of the United States. And she even promised unlimited backstage passes to whoever uploaded it to the White House TikTok account. At first, people thought she was just hyped that her song got used, nothing more. But then she doubled down. A few days later, she reposted another White House TikTok, and this one wasn't subtle at all. It was straight up praising Trump's policies. It was a whole slideshow that said things like, no men and women's sports, a border is closed, our criminal illegals are being deported, all of that. This is the point where her own fan base really snapped, because a huge part of them is LGBTQ+, and they felt like she was standing behind anti-trans policies. People filled the comments accusing her, saying she's an immigrant herself and now boosting what they called transphobic propaganda. The comment section was on fire, but Nicki didn't slow down for a second. On November 1st, Trump posted about Christians being prosecuted and killed in Nigeria, and Nicki jumped in to co-sign it. She thanked him for speaking up and said no group should ever be harmed for practicing their religion. That pushed the tension even higher because her LGBTQ+ fans were already frustrated with how openly she was supporting him. When those fans confronted her again, reminding her what Trump has said and done to their community, Nicki stood her ground even harder. She basically said this situation had nothing to do with them and claimed they were turning everything into something about themselves when Christians are being murdered. That comment hit a nerve instantly. All of this heat is what led to her getting invited to speak at the United Nations by Trump's UN ambassador, Mike Waltz. And just yesterday, Nicki showed up and became the first female rapper in history to ever speak at the UN. Nicki pulled up in a full black dress and admitted she was nervous, which surprised a lot of people because she usually walks into any room like she runs it. She gave her speech thanking Trump for what she called his leadership on the Nigeria situation, talking about Christians being targeted and killed, saying protecting them is about uniting humanity, not taking sides. The delivery was calm, but the message stirred up a lot of reactions fast. Here's where things got messy. Experts, and even the Nigerian government, pushed back on Trump's claims, saying the violence in Nigeria hits everyone, not just Christians, no matter their background or beliefs. The tension jumped again when the Nigerian president said he was shocked that Trump was even talking about possibly invading their country. That comment alone had people worldwide asking what exactly Nicki had walked into by echoing his version of events. Then we moved to the reactions because Amanda Seales and Tamika Mallory didn't stay silent for a second. Both of them tapped in with strong opinions, and the timing made everything louder.
Nicki Minaj working with Trump admin on plight of Christians in Nigeria.
Either she's getting a check, or she was MAGA the whole time, or she's genuinely thinks that she's doing something good, which, by the way, is why y'all need to have people around you that know more than you. And by y'all, I don't just mean celebrities. Everybody. Everybody should have people around them that they can consult with, that think differently than you, that hold you in a place of values. Just so you understand what's happening here with the plight of Christians in Nigeria, there is a plight of Christians in Nigeria. However, the U.S., what does that have to do with the United States? The United States is using this as a ploy, as a proxy, to find their way into Nigeria so that they can then find their way into the Sahel states of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, who, as you know, are coming together to begin a process of Pan-Africanism on the continent. They are taking back their resources from France. They are saying we are going to build our own infrastructures. This undermines the global empire's goal, and so they have to try and shut it down. Now, we saw earlier this year with AFRICOM and that coon, that general who tried to say, oh, you know, they got some problems going down in Burkina Faso. They're continuing to try to make this happen the same way that they're making fetch happen in Venezuela right now. When do we stop allowing ourselves to be used?
So you guys know that over the last few years, I've really tried to be intentional about what I say in public about Black folks. I try to be really careful, but some things require a public statement. And as I've been watching this situation unfold with Nicki Minaj and Trump and Nigeria, I thought it was important for me to say a few things. There are consequences to aligning yourself with Donald Trump and his policies and his evil ways. There's consequences. What we know is that as he turns his attention to Nigeria, understanding his history, there will absolutely be exploitation, theft of resources. Somebody that he knows wants something from Nigeria. It could be a business partner, it could be a friend, it could be a said corporation, it could even be his family members. But they will invade Nigeria and exploit the people for their own benefit. And they will throw Nicki Minaj to the wolves because they could care less. They couldn't care less about that system. The unfortunate part about all of this is that there will forever be a stain associated with this moment that this sister will have to walk with. She will 100% see bloodshed because innocent Nigerians will be harmed and even likely killed as a result of whatever is to come. And she will have that on her hands. And it is pretty sad to watch because what we know is that he, Trump, often uses Black people and Black culture to harm Black people here and abroad. And it is happening in real time. And that sister is going to carry this moment with her forever. So today is a pretty sad day. It's a pretty sad day, and it won't be long before we all get to see how it unfolds. Maybe she knows, maybe she doesn't. Maybe she doesn't have anybody around her to inform her. But history tells what's going to happen. And it's, again, a pretty sad day.
Now, to be real, Tamika has a very... Amanda, who never holds back, spoke up and said this whole situation is the perfect example of why public figures need people around them who actually know more than they do. She wasn't throwing soft shade. She was making it very clear that Nicki stepped into something way bigger than her fan debates. And Amanda didn't just hint at it, she said it straight up, stressing that celebrities with massive influence have to be careful when speaking on international issues they haven't fully studied. She said it shows why it's important to have a circle that's informed and not scared to correct you. After that, she told everyone, take a look, and dropped her thoughts without hesitation. And that wasn't the end of it, because Tamika Mallory jumped in with a heavy warning video about how dangerous it can be to stand next to Donald Trump. She didn't sugarcoat anything. She laid out exactly why aligning with him can flip on you fast, and her message hit hard. To be real, Tamika was speaking facts because Trump always moves with some kind of hidden motive, and everybody knows it. You can't take anything he promises at face value, and half the time, his reasons for doing something are nowhere near what he claims. That's why her point landed the way it did. Nicki keeps insisting she's not taking political sides, but she literally delivered a speech at the UN standing with the Trump administration. It's tough to claim neutrality when you show up in that kind of room with that kind of backing. The whole situation made people ask whether this was truly about speaking up for Christians in Nigeria, or if Nicki was being pulled into a political strategy she didn't fully see coming. Looking at Trump's past, it's easy to believe he's using her to push his own agenda, because he's done that same move with other public figures before. Nicki might think she's controlling the narrative, but the truth is he knows exactly how to use a celebrity moment to make himself look stronger. Now everybody is debating the same thing. How do you feel about Nicki publicly supporting Trump and standing behind him like this? What does this whole situation say about where she's choosing to stand right now? The reaction online is loud and people are split in ways nobody expected.